Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We are most of the way through our Montessori homecoming week here with UMSI. We have Kathleen here with us from a Children's Habitat Montessori school. We're so grateful to have you with us and that you guys were willing to be a school sponsor for us. So we'd love to hear a little bit more about you and your role at your school, and then more about a Children's Habitat.
Well, my name is Kathleen Cliff. I'm the upper elementary teacher here at a Children's Habitat. We are a small private school on the northwest side of Indianapolis, getting close to our 50th year. We're the longest running Montessori school in Indianapolis. We serve ages 18 months to 12 years old. And our mission is enriching minds and building community guided by the principles of Dr. Maria Montessori. And that's really, the building community part especially is something that I really value about our little school. It's a very tight-knit community. I'm both a parent at the school of a toddler, and then I teach on the other side of the building, with the oldest students. So, being a member of this community on a lot of different levels is something that I really value.
Absolutely. So something really unique that I think Children's Habitat has done is really engage the community in panels and community events for parents to understand Montessori. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think that people maybe assume a competitive spirit among the Montessori schools in town. We have an incredibly rich Montessori community in Indianapolis and the surrounding areas, with both public and private and charter options. And as a school community, we think that it's really important to promote Montessori. And we think that our school is an awesome place to have a Montessori education, but we think that the best thing for the world is to have more Montessori educated children. So over the years, this is my 5th year at the school, and over the years that I've been here, it's been a really important part of our mission to reach out, especially to the other Midtown Montessori schools, to establish a presence and understanding of Montessori within the larger community, and to really come together to promote that mission.
Absolutely. And I know MC has worked with your school before for some of those community events, and it's such a special way to get a lot of people together just to promote Montessori in general. And I think that's such a gift that you give our community. So thank you. So what makes your Montessori school unique or special? Like you said, there's so many around in the area. What do you think is really special about a Children's Habitat?
Well, one thing that I love about our school is, if you think about Maria Montessori's approach to following the child at our school, because we're such a small community, we're really able individually to follow the child from 18 months to 12 years old. You only have 5 classrooms. We have a toddler class, 2 3 to 6 classes, a lower elementary and an upper elementary. And the toddler room is right across the hall from my classroom. So I'm really able to watch these students grow. And, students who I have now were in the preschool when I started. And, COVID aside, we're really intentional about building community across classrooms. And so having that continuous education experience, that continuous Montessori education experience from the toddler class all the way through to the upper elementary is something that's really special about our program.
Wonderful. So can you tell me a little bit about why you think that Montessori education is so important to educating the whole child, to educating a well-rounded child in our world today?
So I think that I was a public traditional educator for a long time before I was a Montessori educator. And I was a Montessori student, though. So I've always had kind of Montessori on my mind and in my heart, and progressive education in general. And the number one thing that I notice when I walk into a Montessori school is that children tend to be really joyful. It tends to be a really happy place to be a kid. And when children are given the power of choice, and when the adults in a child's world are meeting the child where they are developmentally and are creating educational experiences that are individualized to the needs of the child, it creates an environment where children feel empowered to learn and to grow and to take risks. And I think that um, in a world that's increasingly leaning toward a one size fits all model, Montessori really preserves childhood in a way that I think is incredibly beneficial to children.
Absolutely, for sure. So, what is a good way for people to learn more about a children's habitat? Where can they get more information? How should they contact you and learn more about your great school?
Well, usually I would say come on by, but obviously this year's a little different. We are finalizing a beautiful virtual tour of all of our classrooms and our facilities that I think will be live on our website pretty soon here. Our website is www.childrenshabitat.org. Maybe just Google it, a children's habitat in Indianapolis. um, we love to talk about our school. So even though we can't host people at in-person open houses right now, if you call the school office or email us, we really love what we're doing here, and we really want to invite more people to be a part of it. You could also drive by. You can see our beautiful outdoor classroom from 72nd Street at Hoover. So there are little peeks that you can get in the meantime, but definitely look for that virtual tour to be coming. It's pretty comprehensive and a great look at our classroom and a nice way to meet our teachers.
Awesome. So, the last question I always like to round out with is, if at all, how has UMSI impacted you personally as a Montessori educator, sir, but also for a children's habitat? How has UMSI been supportive of the school?
I think it's just very empowering to be a Montessori educator in a community where Montessori is a known word. It's a known phrase. People generally understand, at least have a simple understanding of what it is and that it exists. And it's really important to be part of a larger community, especially like I said, we are a small school. I'm the only upper elementary teacher here. So having opportunities to connect with other Montessori educators within the community is really valuable. So it's nice to have that local and statewide effort to connect educators and to further Montessori within the community.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course.
We really appreciate a Children's Habitat support, not only of UMSI, just the Montessori community in general. You guys have been so beneficial to all of us. So thank you so much. And for everyone watching, don't forget to join us tomorrow evening at 7:30 for our virtual Absorbent Mind Plus Wine event on Zoom. Just a chance to chat with each other and vent and interact and have some face to face, but not really time together where we can just relax and come together as Montessorians. So thank you so much again, and I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Thank you.